Hey guys, welcome back. It's Mike Espo. So I got this Hot Wheels 2024. It's called Mustache, and it's really a funny, stupid car. It's been shown on Instagram and it's been shown on YouTube. Shout out to Trevor, who recently did this car in a Ugly Wednesday car. So it is kind of a funny car, a stupid car. It's got this thing you click open and there it is. Well, how you like that? Quality control. It has this mustache comb that you would use to, I guess, as it shows in the back of the card, brush your mustache. But without further ado, there would be a lot to fill in here because I do like the car. There's way too much to fill in there. So if you put this down, it's very flat. And this part you would have to cut off because, believe it or not, it does have the look of an early race car in the 20s and the 30s. I'll show you some pictures in a second. But I will try to bring that look back with this car. I'm going to trim this down, maybe make my own wheels. Usually with these cars, the exhaust only came out of one side, or right here on the engine, the straight pipes came right out. They were very loud, they were very fast, and very dangerous. They had no roll bar, no roll cage, and they flipped easy because they were made so thin. In the early days, they would race, the driver and the mechanic would sit right next to each other. They would put the mechanic in the car to race alongside the guy who was driving it. And that didn't last too long. So let me see if I can show you some pictures. And then let me see if we can make these into dirt track racers. Come along for the ride with the Mustache. Now, if you take a quick look at this, this is an open race car, and it has a similar look to this car. And here's another one, an open race car. You notice how on this side there is no exhaust. The exhaust was usually on one side, even if it was a double exhaust pipe. Very cool car, wire wheels, and that's a knockoff, one knockoff bolt. And this is a great picture, a black and white picture of one racing with the driver and the mechanic sitting right next to each other. Very thin tires. You see how the tire is not balanced, it's off to the left. These cars went really fast on wood tracks. This is a wood track they're racing on. You can see the boards right here. All the boards. And again, this is very close to that car. So let's see what we could do with these two Hot Wheel cars and make them look more like track racing and dirt racing cars from the 30s and the 20s. So the first thing I did with these race cars was cut off that big gas tank that was in the front. And then I did a little mix with the JB weld, the quick weld, and I welded in the mustaches because I will file them down later. So as you can see, it's already starting to look like a race car. So I haven't drilled out the bottoms yet because I want the mustache part to stay in. So waiting for that to dry. And this is the front of them, as you could see. So by using that plastic piece from the mustache part, as a filler and then gluing it in and then sanding it down, it serves as a purpose, as you can see. So little by little, you can see it's becoming a real race car. And this one is still drying. Okay, so as far as the wheels go, this is Sculpey clay. You can mold this clay into anything and then bake it in the oven. I didn't want to use these wheels at all. I wanted to make my own wheels to look like racing wheels. So this is, you take the Sculpey clay and you make it into a worm-like. Then after that, you take a small piece, and then after that, you form it into a wheel. So these wheels are going to be looking like they're in action. So they don't have to be perfect. Everyone is going to have that action look to it. So I'm not looking for a perfect wheel. And that's how I'm making the wheels for these race cars with the Sculpey clay. Here's some of the tube tires I made. I didn't heat them up yet. And then this is just an experiment with an axle. My idea is to make the tires flat on one side and give them that look as if the car has motion to it. As if the car is speeding, almost on its side. This is taken off and will be added to this side, where technically it belongs. So it'll be dual exhaust on the correct side. So here are the balloon tires that I made out of clay and baked. And here's the first race car that they'll be going on. So right here and right here on the race cars, I opened the door more using the Dremel. Because on these race cars, one side was open wide. In some cars it was both sides, but in some cars it was one side, so the driver could get in and out. So here you have the two mustache cars drying, finishing to be drying. And now this is the wood that I'm going to use for the wood track that they'll sit on. So I'll let that dry and we'll work on the track. When the track is done drying, I'm going to sprinkle sand on it to give it the texture. Like so. Okay, so the wood board racetrack is done. And I just wanted to sprinkle a little sand on it for that dusty look that the wood boards have when these cars used to go by. just like so. And I'll take off the excess after it dries. Okay, guys, so this is what I set out to do. I was looking to make 2 race cars from the Hot Wheels cars Mo Stash. And I made the period correct door for the driver to get into on either side. And every tire is completely different, because if you watch these old cars race, you'll see that the tire pressure in each wheel is different, and a different height, a different angle. On the silver car, I took the exhaust off of one side and I put it where it belonged, on the other side. Straight 6s or straight 8s were in these cars. There were no roll bars, there were no roll cages, and they were made very thin and long. So this is really what they looked like. They had no windshields, nothing to say for shocks and springs. They were just really crazy machines to race. Here's an extra tire I made out of clay, and then I cooked it in the oven 15 minutes. That's what all these tires are. I purposely made them so each tire looks differently. And there you have it. I hope you like it. I made a little racetrack out of wood with some dirt and sand on it to put the cars on. And I'll put that on the diorama right now. The silver one rolls, and it just so happens the black one doesn't. It's just the way the wheels came out. So let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. More cars to come. When I saw the original Mustache car, I automatically thought of these type of race cars. And I hope you enjoyed seeing them. Till next time, thanks for watching. God bless. Mike Espo.